right now. Gotta look the part. Look
That's
good, feel
right.
good, feel good,
That's
play good.
that's
Things
right.
things you love to see. This. Well,
Yes.
I let's see. I'm sure we're live by now. I have not. I don't have my phone with me. I was telling Tom I found a because I have an iPhone, but I use a Fire TV stick, and it's not broken. It's just a traditional Fire stick, so there's no way to AirPlay using the FA player or anything. So I found like a 2.99 app that I can now AirPlay onto my TV. So I have
Oh, nice.
if the match is already just like pulled up on my TV, it's ready to
Hmm.
go. So basically, once we close out, I can just scramble in there and hit mute. So because right now you just have that like weird music that.
Yep. Hmm.
So it was just like I had to mute that with the quickness. Uh, Basically, cold open. Hi, everyone. Hi, hello. We are here. This is SOB Kickoff Live Show. This is Tom Bomb, and that is Sharpie Charlie. Sharpie, you're looking good. I'm assuming you feeling good also. How's it going, sir?
I look way better than I feel actually. I've been coughing all night. Oh, like it's just like like it's not like COVID, but it's like you're sick. So like normal sick. So just been on the Dayquil, NyQuil, run of things. But I'm excited to talk City women, especially coming off what happened with the City men's side yesterday. So, ready to get to it. How you doing, Tom?
Before you logged on with Crunk, I told him that I did something that I have never done before last night, and I'm very tired after doing it. And we'll just put
Mhm.
it in the red. So I probably woke up like 45 minutes ago, but it was great. It was great. I encourage everyone to try new experiences in safe environments.
That's what counts. Safety first.
Yes, yes, exactly.
All right, Bill. So, well, if you're here and you're watching right now, um, obviously feel free to comment. Hopefully, if you're watching it on Twitter or you got the link from Twitter, hit us with the retweet, hit us with a quote tweet. And if you are commenting, if you're on YouTube or if you're on FanFest Live's app themselves, uh, hit us with a comment. Let us know where you're watching, where you're supporting the team, and just in general, comment. YouTube, like all those beautiful things that spreads the name of our shows. Let's get into it, shall we? I will pull up the lineup. And for City Women, we have Roebuck, Kasparai, Morgan, Greenwood, Alexandri, Hasagawa, Engeldahl, Castellanos, Kelly, Hemp, and Shaw up top. Tom Baum, we'll start with you first. What does the city lineup say to you?
So the first thing it says is definitely, and the graphic also shows it, is welcome back, Esme Morgan. This is her first match back in quite a bit. Her defensive flexibility, or her tr- positional flexibility, gives us a lot of flexibility in this lineup. Also, we're welcoming Kirsten Kasparai back to the starting lineup. I know that she did get in the last match against Brighton for the last 15 minutes. Um, so I think Charlie said in the men's show yesterday is like, okay, we just need to come to the conclusion that City play with three at the back. That's just what we do. So as I look at this lineup, um, what I'm seeing is probably a back three of Kasparai, Morgan, and Greenwood, probably with Greenwood sitting in the center, and then Kasparai and Morgan on either side of her, and then Alexandri dropping into the midfield to help support Hasagawa in the midfield. Um, that's kind of what I'm seeing from the match. Um, Charlie, is that kind of what you're looking at as well?
From the back for sure. I think you hit it right on the head. But I want to focus on the midfield. I thought it was interesting to see Castellanos get the start over Coombs. I know last match against Brighton, it was that was she was in there. But I think Dana has a little bit more creativity, and I think feeding those balls to feet of the wingers, maybe even Bunny right hitting her on a couple passes is going to be really critical. We know she's great from a set piece as well. And then up our front three, like we can't take that for granted. The reliability, the excellence that they provide every single match. And something I thought about today as I was driving to get breakfast was it's such a nice thing to not have crazy match congestion in the women's game. So that way, like, like, hey, if our players are fit, they can play every match. They're spaced out. It's very few midweek matches. So it's like a natural cycle. So I think that really helps us know that, okay, up top, we got Kelly Hempenshaw, and good luck for all of you trying to deal with them.
So uh, we mentioned some adjustments in the team. Castellanos, Morgan. Do we? Do you think there's going to be any problems with maybe our uh, continuity on the team? Do you see any disturbance in the passing? Maybe we don't see as much like attacking options.
If I remember correctly, this midfield trio was the trio that we started when we played Villa in the league at home last or 2 months ago. So they have familiarity with each other. I think that to me, and when we get to Villa's lineup, we can kind of see this. I think that my original hesitation to play Castellanos is that you're not going to have that support in the midfield to deal with their midfielders who have like really eaten us up. Um, Specifically, Kenza Dali and Jordan Nobbs. They've been in a really, really good run of form. Since they drew with us, they've only dropped points against Arsenal. Um, their other draw, or excuse me, they did end up. They did lose to Brighton at Brighton, but then they had the reverse fixture in the league, and then they murdered Brighton. So that was kind of all ended up all being a wash. Um, I I'm like Dolly and Knobs are the ones that um like they're the ones that give me the most hesitation because those were the two players in the match before that were kind of bossing the match. You could kind of see that their physicality against Hasegawa was a little bit overwhelming for her. I mean, we have to remember that Yui
Right.
Hasegawa is 5'2".
And what that's exactly what I was going to ask because that's what they took advantage was the midfield in using their physicality. I remember a few matches ago, you felt that they added Coombs to kind of help with that physicality. She's now out, but also like to kind of argue back and forth. Uh, when Villa first got us early ago, that was like Yui was still very new to the team, trying to get used to the physicality of the league. She
I'm
seems pretty great lately, handling how the women are coming at her. Do you see? Do you see like we shouldn't see the same team? Am I just like being this foolhardy fan that's just like, nah, that was 2 months ago? Or do you actually have you been seeing progress in Yui to maybe not have that anxiety or hesitation?
Oh, I've definitely like if you look at the two Arsenal matches, like just even her performance in the FA Cup, or excuse me, in the Conti Cup match versus her performance in the league match, like that was within 4 days of each other. Like you could see that like she was up for and ready for that physicality. I think that also playing Felipe Angeldal has added some of that physicality into the midfield, and she also has a really good like if you see the passes that she makes to Chloe Kelly specifically on when she is on the right, she seems to have a good understanding of what Chloe Kelly can do. I know that in the previous match where Castellanos and Angeldal started together, I was a little bit personally, I was since Felipe Angeldal does set up on the right. Dana Castellanos had been setting up on the right previously when she was playing with Coombs, and it kind of just you could tell like that direction kind of threw her. So I wonder if when we see Laya Alexandri drop into the midfield from her fullback spot, if we're going to see more of a like a excuse me, like a 3-3-1-3 sort of situation to just kind of give Castellanos more of that space to in which to operate. So then that way she can pop up where she needs to versus like, oh no, I need you to stay more towards the left. And that way she has more range of motion either way.
Shout out to Pratchett, true City fan, who's just hit us with a yes, lads. I appreciate him. He's most dope City content. He's hails out in Ireland, and so shout out to him. He's great people. We've had him on a few times. He's had us on his shows. So appreciate you, showing us some love.
Absolutely.
So I guess what will you be if City are to start struggling early on in the match? What would you be looking? What would those struggles, I guess, look like?
I think for me, it's ceding possession, right? We are a possession-based team. If we can't get on the ball, um, and they're getting those, getting into our final third in those dangerous possessions, because Tom makes this point all the time. The club plays kind of the similar style, so it's like we need the ball to play good defense. We don't want to get caught in just trying to defend. We're not sitting back. This is not one of those times where it's 4-4-2. We just defend. No, it's not Ted Lasso. We want the ball. We want to attack and control the tempo of the game that way. Because if it goes up and down, Rachel Daly can be clinical. That counter definitely worries me. They have some, knobs in the middle pulling the strings. I think and even make sure I say it right. Blind killed, number 19 for Aston Villa. Yeah, she can get really really dangerous on the wing. So we want to keep the ball as much as possible.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like it's keeping the ball, and I think specifically it's keeping the ball in the midfield. So I think that this is a match where Dana is going to need to be really strong on the ball. I know that it has taken her like the WSL. I think that English football as a whole is a different brand of football than European football. And she's Venezuelan anyway. So yes, she had been playing in Liga F for Atletico Madrid, but like that is not like a super physical league. Like it's not a super physical league like D1 Arkema is in France or like the Super League is in the UK. So I think that we're going to see how much she's adjusted since when she first joined the club in the summer. I think it's going to be really important for her to be strong on the ball. If you do see her lose the ball, but lose the ball while not getting fouled and fouls not being called, I would not be surprised if we see a quick change for her for Coombs. But I think that I have to kind of give Gareth Shaler some credit in this instance because I think that Castellanos scored her first league goal against Villa in our last match. So I think that this is kind of just giving some confidence to her, like, hey, I believe in you. You can go out here and do it again, sort of thing. So, and she was super creative in that match, but she was also getting like run off the ball quite a bit in that match as well. So I think that this is this is the match where she's going to need to be strong on the ball, and I would be interested to see what kind of space that they give her, because I would imagine that Chloe or that they're probably going to want to keep one of their center backs free and probably have Corsi match up on Bunny Shaw as much as possible, and then have that second center back back for defense. But it would be interesting to see if they like put their 6 in Staniforth, like kind of prevent Bunny from getting the ball in those situations, and that should free up more space for Dana to get free.
And I figured we should go over the other quarterfinal games since this is the last match of the quarterfinals. Manchester United, our opinionated neighbors, that's my loving nickname of them. Our opinionated neighbors beat Lewis. Is it Lewis, I'd assume? But they beat them 3-1. And then Brighton and Hove Albion beat Birmingham City 2-0. And Chelsea beat Reading 3-1. And yeah, we got us. So fingers crossed we get through. I'd assume we would want Brighton because they would be the least dangerous of the, 3 teams.
I don't know. I think that, like, to me, I think that this might be the right time to play United. I think that all of those players that they didn't sell, Russo, Adriana Leon, Toon, I think that they're like, or I guess Toon did sign an extension, excuse me. But I think that after their match with Chelsea, like, I think we interacted with some fans on Twitter of theirs that were just saying some of the wildest things. And I think for me, it would be important to have a third Manchester derby just to like, since there was already a draw in the first one, just to say like, hey, like we're coming for you. Like, we know that you think that you're going to get that second or third spot, but it's not happening. Like, that belongs to us, and you will kindly get out of the way. So I think, to me, I think it's important to play United for the mindset of the club, like just kind of to silence some of their fans, and just like make sure that people know that Manchester is blue.
I'm going to take the opposite approach of Tom because I firmly believe the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And so I want Brighton so Man U and Chelsea can take out each other. I don't want to have to play both of them because the ultimate goal here is a trophy. Now, if I had to pick somebody to play in the final, of course we want a derby final. I'm actually hoping that happens on the men's side, which we'll talk more about on Shades of Blue next week. But I really, really want to face Brighton and just make it to the final, make it to that game where we know anything can happen, and we have the players arise to the occasion. Crunk, can I say something real quick about Villa's form? Going back to them.
Of course.
So I was looking back at it, and forgive me for not being as locked in as Tom is, but it just hit me that they have not lost a match in the WSL since December. Like their last match loss was December against Arsenal 4-1, and they've been 6 unbeaten. Now there have been some draws in there, and then in their last match to qualify for the quarterfinals in the round of 16, they actually had to go to penalties in the FA Cup. And so I think they're a side that can be got, right? Like they have a lot of defensive continuity. They have, they don't give up more than one goal too often. However, they don't play Bunny, him, and Kelly either every match. And we pose a very difficult set of problems because you can't key in on one person on the front line. If you try to take Bunny away with 2 center backs and you leave 101 on your fullbacks, good luck. Eventually, him and Kelly are going to break them down and then cause chaos. And if you go the other way, if you don't give Bunny the attention she needs, or you're just setting somebody up to get dunked on from one of those crosses, it's a very difficult proposition to be a manager against us. And I think now I, as a supporter, can like just embrace the fact that we are great offensively. Like we have amazing talent. It's almost like being a fan of those Phoenix Suns teams back in the day with Steve Nash. It's like we are going to run up and down the floor 7 seconds or less. Like we can score on you. Now, will we do it every match and will we defend our tails off every match? We'll see. But Tom, are we at like 20 matches unbeaten now? Something crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like we don't lose either. Um, and I really back us today. Like I'm excited to see that good mojo from yesterday. I almost wore the same quarter zip to keep the energy the same, but I was like, you know what? This is the women's shirt. It's Women's History
Right.
Month. Let me go ahead and embrace the vibes here and set some new vibes out because
Yes.
I know that they're gonna come ready to
We
perform
love
today.
it. We love it. And Charlie, to your point about like our front three, like just being so dominant, I think that is why you're seeing Castellanos start over Coombs just to help unlock them. I think like um Coombs does a very good job of like, to me, Coombs is a lot like Gundo for the men's side. Like she'll make like decent passes, but her runs into the box are immaculate. So like maybe she's a part of the offense, but she's not like the setup of the offense. So I think that that's why you're going to see Castellanos start in this particular match, so that she can be the setup of the offense um, in this particular match.
All right. Well, I figure we can give our score predictions and then we can get out of here. Not before giving DT3 in his comments some love. Tom wants the smoke. He respects it, which I do. I really do
Yeah.
respect. But I agree with Sharpie. No, bro.
Yeah.
Let's do the Brighton, the path of least resistance, for now. You know. Yeah. Uh, I guess I'll go real quick. I think we break through. I do see a goal. 3-1. I think we won 3-1. Yeah, pretty handily.
Um,
Oh, go ahead, Tom. No, you got it. Go.
okay. I'm going 2-1 in extra time. I know I said this on the penalty. One of the things that we didn't talk about in the lineup, but both of our Australians are now fit, and they are on the bench. So I see actually a Haley Rasso goal like in extra time to win the match. So I'm going to go 2-1 in extra time.
I'm gonna take some cues, some crunk here. I'm gonna get real bombastic. It's not 5 or 6, but I'm gonna say 4. I
Hey,
think
that's
we hit
good.
them up just like Arsenal did. I think we're in such good form right now. We're clinical up top. We're creating chances, a lot of touches in opponent's possession, in opponent's box. And I think we break through. I think 4-1. I think Rachel Daly does score because that's just kind of what she does. But I feel like we just come in waves and droves. And Tom, you mentioned the bench. Love our options off the bench. Rasso, Fowler, uh, Coombs. Um, I think we have what it takes.
Love it. And I understand it takes a lot to say just 6 randomly off the cuff, especially when there's no real reason. And the experience with this team isn't 6 goals. So smart 4 baby steps. We'll get there. One day we'll have a whole episode where everybody says 6, and it won't be me getting you guys, and we'll just get a shady gang. We'll lose it. But very thank you guys for coming on. Thank you everyone watching now for joining us, and hopefully thank you Manchester City women for winning and moving on to the next round.
That part. That part.
The match is
That
on
part.
FA Player, correct? It's on FA
Yes,
Player
Correct.
outside
yeah,
of UK.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
so let's lock
All
it in.
right. All right. Well, everybody, we'll leave you to it, and we will see you all on Tuesday nights, Wednesday morning, when the new episode of Shades of Blue drops.
All right, and yes, thank you DT3. Survive in
Yes.
advance,
Survive in
baby.
advance. Yes, that's right.
Enjoy the match, everybody.
Come on, City.
Yes. Come on,
Yes,
City.